Hello friends, it's Julie Norman, and today we're going to talk about my final prep for Nanowrimo and how I use my planning supplies. If you're new here, my name is Julie Norman and I make planner and planner related videos on Tuesdays and Fridays. Today I'm going to go through how planning really helps to achieve a goal. And the goal that I'm talking about this time is Nanowrimo, National Novel Writing Month. So if you're hearing some clicking sound in the background, that's because it's my dog walking around behind me. He might sigh. And I'm using for my planning a Happy Planner disc bound journal. And this here is something that I have had going before Nanowrimo. It is something that I'm revising to put in my goals because the book that I'm working on is something that has already been started. The goal of Nanowrimo is to write 50,000 words in 1 month, which is the month of November, and that is the National Novel Writing Month. And I am doing it a little differently. I'm not going from 0 to 50,000. I am starting with what I started in my first draft, and then I'm going to add 50,000 on top of there. It's not that I'm going to get a head start, but I will just add on to my total. And some people do it this way. It's just, there really are no hard rules except if you want to win, you need to do 50,000 words. So I started this book earlier this year. It is a Montana historical novel about a woman, and it takes her from an abusive situation and into healing and redemption. And this is a fictional place. This is not the place that I'm actually going to use. It was just a working title. Sarah Cannon has a book, a printable book, which I can link below for you. She is also a writer, and she has a free download that will take you through all the steps to prep for Preptober for Nanowrimo. And a lot of the writers will have set aside October for Preptober so they can make sure everything is set to go so they can start on November 1st without having to do extra work like look up things or set their goals. So there is a whole bunch of things and resources in her book, and you can take a look at it. I didn't need all of it because a lot of it had already been established for me, so I just downloaded a couple pages that would help. And here's my hot mess. Oh, my printer printed upside down, whatever. This is my hot mess page of goals of things that I wanted to do for the month. And I didn't want to do a linear goal list, so I did little squares of different things, and then I put stickers on it, and yeah, it's really messy looking, but it's very much free-flowing, which is the way I am. So I kind of want to get my house clean, do a few little meal plans, get the coop cleaned out a little bit. I don't know if this is going to happen, guys. We've got like over a foot of snow the last week. I don't really want to go up to the coop right now. Do a little bit of my stocking of my booth. Read through my draft. I did finish that. Edit and get it ready. Did that. Check out the forums. There's a lot of things not done that. And look for local groups and my daily goals, which I did do. And I'll show you that. Planning and writing. Actually, they go hand in hand a lot. There are a lot of authors and writers who also are planners. And, you know, Sarah Cannon is one, and I've come across a few others. Now, another thing that I wanted to make sure to do was have some rewards, and I outlined a few here, that every 10,000 words I would get a reward. Here are my goals. So the theory behind this is you take a calendar, and I had this calendar from a clearance Happy Planner for the for the teaching year. I took out November, so I would have the calendar. What you do is you mark off all the days that you don't think you're going to be able to have time, or you'll have limited time, and then you figure out what you have left and what you're going to do. So I figured out that the days that I'm home right now, I can do 3,000 words, and then there's days where I have stuff going on, so I'll just do 1,000, and on Saturday I'll kind of try to do 1,000, and Sunday I have completely off, because I kind of need a brain break. And on the chance that something happens, like maybe one day here I have to go in and do like my car needs to get fixed, emergency, we get a lot of flat tires, maybe only able to do 1,000, so I might roll it over here, or I might have to do Sundays if that happens. So that is kind of just being realistic with the goals. So if you're doing like a plan for a project, it is good to say, okay, I have a 1 month or a 2-month project. It's going to take me this long or this many steps, and here's how much I can do. Here's the days I can't do it. So this is just a way of realistically breaking it down. And another thing she suggested was to make sure you have a couple days set aside for break days. And that is good for all the projects that you do, because you might get burned out. You might have to go in, you know, what if your kids get sick, or your dog has to go to the vet. So things just happen. So that is how I planned out my Nanowrimo schedule. This binder, this notebook, actually sits along the side of my desk, and I don't have it on my desk all the time. As I was setting up my November traveler's notebook, I thought, well, what if I put these goals from November into that? And I'll show you what I did. Here's my November traveler's notebook that I'm going to use. You may have seen this before. I am going to use him up for November. I have decided to set up all of my tracking in the front. So I have all these different trackers that I'm going to track for November. Look for the future video for the rest of this, and I will explain what I did. So for Nanowrimo, I put the calendar in here. I did the same thing where I marked off how many words per day that I wanted to get done. I marked off Thanksgiving, and I want the day after Thanksgiving off. If I have to, I will do something, because we really don't have anything going on right now. So I also put my rewards here. I figured maybe I'll just do it every week if I finish my goal. And then I have 2 blank spaces, because I thought, well, maybe I'm going to change what I have as a reward, which is okay too. Because it's going to be, as I'm in the thick of it, I might find out something that I want to do differently. So each day I will write down what my total is here, and a cumulative total as well. So I can track that as I go, and it'll be a good way to see the goal in process. So as you think about a plan for a project, that is kind of good way to do it. And you don't have to do it in a calendar setup. You could do it as a list setup. You could make a pretty goal setup. I could have made a picture of a book if I wanted to. Depends on how much time you want to put into it. Because here's another thing that happens. You can spend all day making a planner and never doing any of your plans, which can happen. And that might be another video too, because I've done that, especially when I have little energy. So that is my Nanowrimo prep for November, and that will start November 1st, which is going to happen shortly. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks so much for coming along with me, and have a joyful day. Goodbye. P.S. Postscript time. Now, if you did notice, I now have nail color. So, nail color. I have struggled all my life with nail, and now I live on a ranch and I've got chickens and all that stuff, and whenever I would go and spend the time to do manicures, it would chip within a couple days, even though I use like the gels, the really nice, and the top coat and the bottom coat, and it just drove me crazy. So I just put on today this Color Street, and I picked it up at a little fair that I went to. So I picked one of these up. Yeah, it is $12, but there are 16 nail tips, and you can use them two-sided, so there's like at least 2 applications for me in here. $12, $6 an application. I was seriously considering getting some fake nails or something to solve this issue. So this is actually a lot cheaper if I can get it like down to $6 every other week, or every 2 weeks. It's like they say it's gonna go for, then I'm going to try it. So, have you guys used any of this kind of stuff? So far I'm liking it, although I didn't do the best job applying it. I don't know if you can see, but I missed a couple spots. But that's just my first time. So have you used this, or another kind do you recommend? And yeah, I did burn the end. They said to seal it with a curling iron, so these don't dry out when the unused strips. And I used a candle because I saw somebody use a lighter, and of course it caught on fire. You know, that's just the way things go. So that is my new thing on my nails, and you will see that, hopefully, and we'll see how they wear. And thank you for watching to the end. Have a joyful day. Goodbye.